What's up, everyone? Sag here, and today I'm bringing you a video from last week's weekly. I think it's weekly 41 over a pretty disgusting game with moose and ostrich. So I hope you enjoy that. But also, I wanted to tell a little bit of a story, and I think I might start doing this more just to tell like goofy little stories from my life. And today's story, I suppose I should preface with don't do any of this at home. Do it at a friend's house, or this isn't to glorify. This is more like entertainment or education, whatever that would be. But we're talking about the first time that I smoked weed. I know, the devil's lettuce, the burning bush. So let's get into it. It started like any other day for me, Friday afternoon, laying in bed, brooding, lights off, just laying there. I'm around 17 at the time, I believe, and my little sister barges into my room. She's around 15, I would say, at this point. And she goes, "Hey, do you want to smoke some weed?" And I look at her perplexed because I'd never done anything. No drugs, no alcohol. Maybe I'd drank a beer once, smoked a cigarette once, but I mean, I'm 17 at this point. So that's like par for the course. And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I don't know." I'm thinking about it, and then I'm like, "What the fuck does it matter? Like, really?" At this point, so I was like, "Sure." And they were shocked. They were like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't think you would say yes." And I was like, "Well, you asked me." So we go out to my garage, and well, I say my garage, my parents' garage, and there are her two friends, and they are same age as them, so 15. And my dad is also sitting there in his big, old brown chair or whatever. And they already have like the blunt rolled up or whatnot. And my dad was like, "Are you really smoking?" So I guess to say this, my little sister and my dad had already been smoking for at least like 6 months or a year or something at this point. Yes, I know, the greatest of parents. And I never really paid attention to what my parents did, what my siblings did. So I never even knew that they smoked weed. I just assumed like, "Oh, we're getting together we're getting together all for the first time here." That's not the case. So he was like, "Oh my goodness, are you actually gonna smoke with us?" And I was like, "Yeah." I sort of had guessed that he had done something, but he always had like dirty old pipes that smelled like ass because he rolled his own cigarettes. He had big like containers, or not containers, like big packages of tobacco. So I just figured, he smoked tobacco out of a pipe. But little did I know he was mixing in a little bit of that devil's lettuce in there. So we get to smoking this Marolina out of a blunt. That's one of the contraptions you can use. And I hope I don't need to explain what that is. Anyways, so we're smoking it or whatever, and I'm coughing my lungs out because I can't breathe. I'm like, what is this? I've smoked a cigarette before, and it was absolutely awful. So I didn't really think that I would like weed either. But as the depressed teenager that I was like, this doesn't matter anymore. So we're smoking, and I start to feel tingly all over in a way that I hadn't felt in a long time. And I was like, this is getting weird. I'm getting a little woogity. The stuff that we were smoking was actually relatively good, especially for the time. This is probably like, what, 8 years ago or something. And mostly like my dad and my sister and like I guess a couple of friends had smoked weed, and they were smoking Reggie, man. Absolute mid, garbage stuff. So this was pretty solid. And I was like, okay, I don't know how much more of I can do of this, but we finish out the blunt. It starts to rain a little, and my sister's friends go to leave. My dad goes to go inside to watch, I don't know, Andy Griffith's Seinfeld, whatever the fuck he was doing. And me and my sister are sitting out there, and it starts to rain, and the high is continuing to get higher. You keep climbing and climbing. It's like, but we stopped smoking. So I was like, this is, I don't know if this is right. I say to her, hey, is it supposed to continue like this? How long does this go for? And, at this point, she'd been smoking for a while, so she gave me some bullshit answer because she doesn't know, or hardly remembers what it's like to smoke for your first time, which it was incredibly intense. And it starts raining. And I am feeling like I'm 6 years old again on Christmas, opening up and seeing my Game Boy for the first time. Like, dopamine, serotonin is rushing to my brain faster than it had ever done before. And I was like, I think I like this. And so it's starting to pour now. Garage open, we're just laughing, having a great old time. I get up and I just start running into the rain. And now I'm like dancing in the rain. I am replaying scenes from like Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm Jack Sparrow, like on the beach running from all the people. And then like I'm reenacting 300, of course, like 2000s movies. And I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I don't know how I've never done this before. Or I was like, I don't know how I haven't done this before. How do other people not do this? But like my sister wasn't acting that way. Her friends weren't. My dad wasn't. This was just me. I was I was like super annoying for a first time smoker because I'd normally been like very chill, very, I guess maybe not chill, but more broody, angsty, on the lower side of energetic. So not energetic at all. That's why I said chill. But this was like a complete 180. So I was going crazy and I was having an absolute blast. So I finally get inside, I am laughing so hard I can't breathe. I am drenched all over, my entire clothes are wet. I dry off and everything. Go inside. I cannot stop laughing at this point. Like you could have literally said anything to me. You could have looked at me in a certain type of way and I would have started busting out laughing. I think at this point I've probably peaked. Like we are riding that peak, for quite some time. And then I get into my room and I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, I'm ready to do everything. Like I pull up like 5 different YouTube videos. I have music on. I'm like, I can understand everything right now. And at this point I'm like meditating on my bed, but I'm not sitting like naturally. I am in that meditating position, but I am on my head, on my bed, upside down, like back against the wall. If my parents were to walk in, they would have been like, "What the fuck is going on? What is wrong with you?" And I would have been like, "This is exactly where I need to be right now." That's how good I felt. And so that lasted for a few minutes, and I was like, and then I was just sitting there, like absorbing all of the sounds of all the videos and the music and everything. And if somebody were to look me in the eyes, you couldn't have even noticed that my eyes were open. That's how like squinted I was, I'd say. It was, I'm like getting goosebumps talking about it. It was such an amazing experience, and I think that has really shaped me into the person that I am today. It made me, I guess, open up more. Think about more things in a different way. And again, this is not to like glorify it or anything. Don't do this if you're not of age or if it's not legal in your state. I know I was 17, but I do what I want, okay? But yeah, it was an absolute blast, and I continued that. I mean, up until now, other than taking like a few breaks here and there, a couple months in between for various jobs and whatnot. But it was really good, and I don't think I regret it at all. I would do it again if I was given that same opportunity, because it definitely opened up my eyes to different possibilities. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Tongue punch that subscribe button's fart box on the way out. And you know what? Have a wonderful day.